Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another beautiful day on the plains of Colorado. If you are new here, I am Doyle, and this is my garage. And today we're going to do something a little bit different. Now, all of you know that I am a huge fan of the carburetor, and I will forever be that way. You got the Vic over here, you got that thing over there, that'll be carbureted. I got the Monty in the garage that's carbureted. But today, we're going to work on something fuel injected that absolutely terrifies the shit out of me. And it terrifies me because it's my wife's daily driver. Now, she bought this. When did you buy this?
2017?
She bought it in 2017 with roughly 73,000 miles on it. And she is encroaching the 100,000 mile mark. And 100,000 mile mark under her ownership and her driving, and she has developed an oil leak. And if I'm going to tear as far down as I have to get to the oil leak, we're definitely not going to leave it stock. So let me go inside and show you what all we've acquired for this thing. Alright, so we have the Pug intakes. This is supposed to be the updated one that is better, and we acquired new gaskets for top and bottom. And then we have, however the hell you pronounce those spark plugs. Those are the most expensive ones that you can buy, supposedly. These are Mopar factory replacement fuel injectors that are brand new. We have fuel injector O-rings for the old ones because I plan to take them out and put them away and not just toss them. We have valve cover gaskets. We have front brakes. We have MSD coils. And this is her leak. Is these stupid little O-rings. But in order to fix this, you got to tear the entire car apart. We have towels to put into the intake runners so that nothing drops down in there. We have a magnet in case shit goes sideways. We have a new clicky sticky that does inch pounds. I've never owned one of these before because I own American cars that are actually made with metal. We have gloves because we'd like to keep our car somewhat clean, even though it's not clean. We have pry bar installer stuff for the interior, which is for this. We have oil. We have throttle body cleaner to clean the throttle body because I didn't get the throttle body this time around. Her oil leak has got to the point where I need to deal with it now, and the throttle body can be dealt with later without tearing it completely apart. Got oil. The oil cooler, which is what's leaking, the O-rings on the oil cooler, or whatever the hell it is, I don't even know, has a water jacket in it. So if the water gets mixed with the oil, we're going to have to do an oil change and flush it and do all that fun stuff. So we got oil filter, and then we got cleaner, and we're pretty much just going to take all of this and put it in here. So we've already got her a gigantic K&N air filter. I paid way too much for this, and it's way too big for this, but this is what I wanted, and I made her buy it. So this is the cheap cold air intake that you can get on eBay that is not super great, but that is okay. And then this is your stock throttle body. So the only upgrades that I am aware of that we are not doing right now is a ported throttle body. And then they have an intake tube that replaces this and all this plastic stuff, and it's nice and smooth and goes around, and then this filter would go on it. And then there is a lightweight pulley. We are not doing that lightweight pulley because I've spun keys on aluminum pulleys before, and this being my wife's daily driver, that is not happening. You guys will see me do the throttle body and the intake, but that is not going to happen today. You will also see me do a rear muffler delete on this to make her growl a little bit more and flow a little bit easier. That is also not going to happen today, but we would like to get the rest done. And it is not going to be possible without a YouTube channel called World Mechanics. I believe they are Swedish. I could be wrong, but those dudes are the Dodge Journey gurus. The wife is going to be out here watching their videos and making sure that I don't fuck her car up. And I mean that in the best way possible. But in 48 hours, she has to go to work. This is not something I can fuck up like this and be like, hey man, I need parts. We'll get it next month. It's whatever. Like, that can't happen today. So that's why this one scares me.
You have less than 48 hours.
Yeah, see, exactly. Whoa! This is gonna be fun. So, she's gonna be out here making sure that I don't fuck shit up.
And clean my windows.
And cleaning her windows and doing other stuff. And then we'll get the interior cleaned and she'll be going back to work with pretty much a new car. So I'm gonna set you guys up, and it's pretty much just going to be a time lapse of me tearing it apart. And then when we get into some interesting stuff, I will show you. Like, I would like to see the difference between the pug intake and this intake. So I will show you guys when we get there, and we'll show you pretty much anything else that we're pulling out. I'm not sure what spark plugs are in this. They are factory. They're 173,000 miles. They're old and tired, and they're definitely not, however the hell you pronounce those things.
Iridium.
No, they're ruthenium, or whatever the hell it is. And then her coils are also old. So we got MSD coils. So this thing should be a lot more lively than it's ever been, even with it being tired out. So let's get to work. The first thing that's going to happen is I'm going to disconnect the battery, because there's a lot of electronics on this car, and that's not something to mess with. And then we're going to drain the coolant out of it, and hopefully by draining the coolant out of it, there won't be any coolant in that jacket, and I won't have to change the oil later. And then we're going to do something that I don't recommend you guys do, but it's something that me and her do all the time, and that's we're going to take the hood off, and it allows us more light, and it's easier to work on. If you don't have to, don't do it. You definitely don't have to with all of these jobs. It just makes it easier on us. So let's get to work, y'all. It was at this point that we decided we were going to take a break, and found out that somebody had called me on Messenger, which kicked me out of recording. So, I don't have a lot of footage of the teardown, which I should have had, but I did take a couple chances to film some stuff with the wife's phone. So we're going to go into that footage, and then we're going to make sure that that doesn't happen again. So, here we go. Alright, y'all. Y'all are up there hanging out. So I'm going to cut this into the middle of the video. But we got to the point where we are to this. The wife will hand me one of those here in a second. I'm going to pull this off. Try not to tear it. It's only been on there for the last 9 years. Ooh, she's crispy. Alright. Get that off of there. And hopefully Oh, I can get this piece out too. And my wife's going to hand me a shop towel so that we can cover this up. Más. There you guys go. There's that so far. So, I'm gonna go back to letting you guys hang out up there. I gotta disconnect the fuel line, and we'll start doing other fun stuff. So, see you in a few. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think we found our oil leak. So it fills up through here, and it flows over through there. I don't know if you guys can see that real well, but and it's definitely where it is. So now I need to pull this connector and that connector, And then that hose is the one that may cause us some problems, because if that one lets out antifreeze into the engine, then we're doing an oil change. But the seals that we have go on the bottom of this. So, we'll get back to work. And after we pulled her oil cooler out, you can very plainly see her oil leak. So we're going to get this vacuumed out and cleaned up, and then work on getting the new one in. And then after we get the new gaskets in and this put back in, we'll take a look at the new pub intake. So catch up with you guys in a few. Alright, so this is the old one. I don't know if you can tell, but it's got like this ridge that runs all the way through it. This does not have that. This also has a casted molding line. This does not have that. This is a very weird shape, and that's very symmetrical. There is a very clear difference between these two. So I don't know if it's going to pick up horsepower, but it should definitely pick up efficiency. So that was a good choice. This is junk. Alright, continuing on. Alright, welcome back everybody. If you can hear, my roof is being ripped off by the winds, and that's part of living in the plains. So, the wife and I discussed it a little bit, and we don't think it's the valve covers that are leaking, and it's pretty easy to get the upper intake off if need be. So we're going to go ahead and leave the valve covers alone. She is over there pulling out the old injectors so we can put new O-rings on them and put them away. We have... Maybe. We have the new intake fully assembled, and I'm getting ready to start pulling coils and spark plugs. So I'm going to turn off the Wi-Fi and hopefully put you guys up back in the same place and not be interrupted. So let's try this again, my friends. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, supposedly it is back together. Wife's gonna fill it with antifreeze. I hooked up the battery. I'm gonna try and prime the fuel pump, but we will see if this thing wants to light off again. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, she's got to get warm and burp, but there we go. We'll talk to you in a second. Ta-da! I don't have a very wide view, but it's all put back together now. So it's raining outside, but that still does not mean that we don't have to go get dinner. So we are going to go on a test drive, and I will let you guys know how this did when we get home, and then I will edit it and get it uploaded to y'all. Tomorrow we got struts to do and front brakes to do. We didn't have to do an oil change, so we have oil and an oil filter for the next oil change, so that's good. So we'll catch up with you guys in a little bit. For we have returned! And even in the rain, snow, sleet, whatever the hell you want to call this, it still runs and drives. So, I will catch you guys tomorrow, or whenever I get a chance to upload the next video, with more action on this thing, because we are not done yet. But until then, have a good night, and God bless. Get out there and wrench on something, make some horrible decisions, and I will catch you later. Bye!